What's up? We're back.
Hello.
That was so good.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
This is Satica, my singing bird, the singing bird. Well, I'm not gonna introduce her. I'm gonna let you yourself. Can you introduce yourself to the audience,
Yes.
please?
My name is Satica, and I'm from Long Beach, California. I'm Cambodian American. And yeah.
Long Beach.
Long Beach in the house. Yeah, and I don't like to put my genre in a box, but I'm a singer-songwriter, and I make anything that makes me happy, really. And that is the blessing of being an artist, is being able to create and do what fulfills you. So, and it's spelled Satica.
Google it. I'm so proud of you. I've known her
you.
for like forever, so I'm like really happy she's here. I'm happy to like. This is weird that I'm interviewing you too, because I know about you, I guess. So it's like it's a little strange.
Yeah,
right?
Isn't it crazy how like time flies? And
Yeah.
Literally when we met, I was just a baby. You were a baby. I'm still a baby, but
Still
you
a
know,
baby,
like,
yeah.
Nah,
Times changed, yeah.
yeah.
Lavalier mic.
Whoops.
She's
my
very,
bad.
very awkward, if you can't tell. I'm just kidding.
It's endearingly awkward.
That's the word,
That's
right?
what it
Endearingly awkward. So could you tell the Popshop audience, the people out there, give us some lightning bolts if you're here for it.
Yeah.
If you were excited about the performance, tell us how you got started, and tell us how you got started.
So, I feel like when you're a kid, there are certain things that really spark your internal flame. And for me, I've just always been in love with artists and singers, and grew up in the age of like pop stars and Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and stuff. And I think just always being around music, I would always grab the hairbrush and just like, do my
Sing.
little thing.
She got like mad like home videos of her
Oh
doing
my
that too.
god, it's just so embarrassing. So I don't think it called to me, and I remember being in 6th grade, and my teacher was like, if you want to make money doing music, songwrite. And then I started songwriting, put some stuff out on YouTube,
Of course.
and then worked out of my friend's garage,
Yeah.
made my first amateur album, which then like caught the ears of you. Everything comes back full circle.
Yeah.
But for me, it was a very cathartic thing. I was going through a lot of issues at different times of my life, and it was really an outlet for me, and it was important for me to just create and do what I can in a language that makes the most sense to me, which is music.
Yeah. So like music, I mean, my next question was like what does your music represent? But is the answer maybe you? Like, do you want to go into that more? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. It's two things. I've always wanted to build some sort of legacy, whether that's with music or just the person that I am. I want to do good in this world, and it's twofold. It's like, obviously I want to represent a group of people that I feel hasn't been able to shine as much as they should. I mean, there's amazing people all over this world, and I feel like in this day and age, we're finally getting to a point where everybody can have like a little bit of shine because of the internet.
Yeah. What do you mean by like the people you want to represent? People like
Cambodian Americans, Asian, people who, I guess, the people who are who break stereotypes, essentially. Like, it was weird for me growing up, and people wanted to put me in a box, but never feeling like I belong in that box. Like, even just from the way that I look, from how I grew up.
Yeah.
It's different, and everybody has their own special story. So for me, that was really important to be that face, or at least try to, because I didn't have that. Like,
Yeah.
I grew up in a like tiny apartment in Long Beach for 18 years of my life, and for me to be able to do stuff like this is like, I would never have thought it was possible.
Yeah, and you know what? That's not what I love about you, and like I don't think it's ever like planned or anything, but like with you, like I've just genuinely yourself.
Aww.
And I think that's like super important because
Thank you.
No, it is because like you said, it represents like a sector of people see you grow, and I've seen you grow, So like you're just leveling up every year, and when they see you level up, they're kind of like, oh, that's like the blueprint. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's like, if I can do it, if she can do it, I can do it too, because you know what I mean? Like usually
makes it feel like it's a possibility.
Yeah.
It's actually possible.
Because sometimes when we hear artists and stuff, we see the result almost, and then you see the end product.
You don't see everything that it's.
And there's a full thing. Yeah. You know, what have you been up to? That was a question on my thing right now. What have you been up to, Satica?
Oh man. Well, I have a project. Oh, instead. For sure. Yeah.
So you don't have to clip it on.
Just talking. Cool.
Yeah, you got it.
Tight. All right. Is that much better? Okay.
She's very soft spoken, guys.
Oh, you know.
Too much.
That ASMR.
You should do ASMR.
You know. Who knows?
You should do a whole album in ASMR.
Just like little
right?
yinging twins, this bitch.
And part of the beat is like, you kind of like, you hear that?
Tap, tap, tap.
Tap, tap, tap. Yeah, but what have you been up to? What's going on in your world right now?
I think the most exciting thing right now that I'm realizing are like eras and being able to timestamp my life through music. So I'm approaching a new era, which is very exciting because I have a project coming out, and this will be my third project as Satica Up to Date. And I feel like every single time I come out with an era, I get closer and closer to the music that I've always envisioned myself to make.
Yeah.
And one thing that I realize is that my music grows with me, and it's a direct reflection of where I am in my life. And to be able to go back and even listen to my old songs and be like, oh, like I can transport to that time. Yeah. You know, I'm just really excited for this next era of music, because then I'll get to do that, and it lives on forever. Yeah. And then you know, it's amazing. Yeah. And so this album, like, when do we expect it? Yeah. When are we expecting this? What's the like style, or what do you mean, or timeline? Both. Oh man. Both. Both. BOFF. Both. Both. Yeah. I have a single coming out for sure in June. And the actual project will be out hopefully by July. Okay. You know, I had a little bit of setbacks with like some art stuff, but it is on the works. I let all the masters sound. And I'm so excited. I'm here for it. If you guys haven't heard her, like she said, she has 2 other projects out. They're amazing. This next one is going to be great too. But let's wait. So you have another single you have a single coming out. So what's Heavenly then? Heavenly is the first single. Heavenly's the first single. Yeah. But it was like an intro. I felt like I did that because it was kind of a bridge to an old sound. Yeah. And then I'm kind of like transitioning my sound. And Heavenly was that first song she performed. Yeah. It's out on, you know, Spotify, YouTube, all streaming platforms and everything. Hit those plays. Lightning bolts. Yeah, like if you like that song, give me some lightning bolts, guys. Please, lightning bolts. There we go. Yes. Yeah. So like, you know, how was it? You know, we talked about your music and everything, and I think it's like very important for, especially Asian American artists, I think, to be more than just Asian American too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like we want to like have an identity, have a full identity outside of that. Yeah. But also, I think, you know, because it's AAPI month and everything, that too. Like, could you, you know, tell me how it was growing up in Long Beach and how it kind of affected you and how it made you who you are? Because, you know, that's my whole thing with this whole Asian American thing too. Is like we you know, we're finding identity, we're trying to assimilate and all this stuff and everything too, and we're trying to find our culture or being Asian, but also like there's this American side of us that definitely kind of influences us, right? Oh, for sure. And so like you growing up in Long Beach, and I see it, like tell me about that and the influence and everything. It was strange growing up. I grew up in the east side of Long Beach. I grew up in the hood for a very long time. I love it though, you know. Yes, it's in the hood, but I'm also like 10 minutes away from the beach. So I felt like it gave kind of an interesting perspective. But it was strange for me to hear all of the like quote unquote Asian stereotypes.
Yeah.
And not identify with that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like an Asian stereotype would be, oh, you're smart, oh, your
Yeah.
family's rich, oh, they own businesses,
Yeah,
or oh,
yeah.
whatever, like
Yeah.
you have tight eyes and straight hair,
Yeah.
or whatever. And it's weird to, obviously, I love my Asian heritage,
Yep.
but to feel so disconnected to that, it kind of like made, I didn't necessarily have like identity issues.
Yeah.
But it, you know, it just,
It just
I
didn't
just didn't
speak
feel
to,
represented.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, exactly.
You know,
And yeah.
that's what it is. It's
Yeah.
like, because you just want someone to relate to.
Yeah,
and
yeah. And that's the thing. Like a lot of like kids, people growing up, they feel that way, right? They're always like searching for that because they, you know, for us growing up out here, you know, I hate to blame the media, whatever, but
Yeah.
that's kind of what represents us, right? And so like because we're so underrepresented, like that we see it and we think we're not ourselves because we're not that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I think this generation of people, this generation, like you, you're the ox, like we're able to like really speak loud and just be truly ourselves.
Yeah, our
to
most authentic selves.
not just to represent ourselves, right? But to represent for the kids growing up.
Yeah.
Right?
I think what's important for me, at least, is so the next generation doesn't have to worry about being Asian as a thing. It's just they
Yeah.
can be their best individualistic selves or versions
Yep.
of however they want to exist as.
Yeah.
And and it is, I kind of want to touch back on one of your questions where you were saying it is strange being Asian and American.
Yeah.
And like, I think just growing up where I grew up, the flavors of American culture were very
Yeah.
different from me too.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't technically have like my first like white or American friend until like I was 18.
Dude, same here. Same here. I didn't
I grew
have.
up with all brown.
Yeah, I
you know,
grew up
colored
with
folks.
just Asians and like
Asians,
Mexican
blacks,
people.
Mexicans.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so it was weird. I was just saying earlier, like that, you know,
It's strange.
strange,
It's very
right?
nuanced, and I
there's
I
a lot
feel
of
like
nuance, and that's part of America people don't see,
yeah.
right? And people don't understand it, you know. And so for us, like, you know, that's why we have to speak up. That's why like I love what you're doing. I'm like so proud of you. I'm so happy you're
Thank
doing
you.
what you're
I'm
doing.
Proud of you.
Fine. No, but yeah, like I think what you're doing is very important. I love it, and I think it's a beautiful thing, right? Lightning bolts, guys. Lightning bolts for that, right? But yeah, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming
Thank
out
you,
here.
guys.
Thank you for performing. Thank you for just being you
Aww.
and just like teaching the world. Honestly, like I think that's very important. Like music, culture. That's what we're trying to, you know,
Yeah.
make happen.
Thank you. We're all
And,
doing our part, so thank you for
That's
having me.
Satica. Listen to the album. Listen to Heavenly.
Yes.
Wally, can we switch to the transition thing so that I can give her a big hug and jump into the next performance?
Yes.